As a spider, you intentionally design it, and you can do that with the resources or the your destiny or your ori teaches you or leads you, and that you intentionally create the experience or the life that you want, and then in that creation, you have the ability to attract blessings and alignment with your life.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
say
So
I'm
like
getting it right. I'm getting it, Bobby. Look, I'm getting it.
the spider, but you brought it up, right?
Yeah.
The spider, develops the web from the things that's internal. So the makeup of the blessings, right? The makeup of who the spider is, right? At its core,
Mm-hmm.
the spider exercises on the outside world, the web. So if the spider is malnourished, right, or whatever, right, if it's not intentful, these type of things, right, this is what it's going to express on the outside world, right? There's a billion spider webs out there that we never walk into because they're in the right place. But if I walk out in the backyard and I walk over by my Eshu shrine, right, there's spider webs all over there. So there's so many, right? It's because of the flies that's associated with the offerings, with the icons. So there's so many of them to have to reap all those blessings. But do they get knocked down when I go over there? Yes, but they'll be right back up because the blessing outweighs the destruction. So the spider will make the web, right, knowing that or hoping that it's in balance, it's in harmony, that it is in a strategic place, and it will then exercise or project itself into the outside world, right?
I,
Those things, right? Stability, right? Size, all those things are taken into account.
right. This is why Ifa says to stay diligent, to live in good character in Iwa Pele, because the vibration of one action travels through our entire destiny. Like, so when there is a choice to do, well, we have a multitude of choices. So when you make a choice, it imprints and impacts on your destiny in some way, shape, or form, good or bad. And so this is why good character is always the essential thing, because you want the impact that you make, the seed or the creation that you're creating, you want it to be positive so that you can receive a blessing out of that or as a result of that, is I would assume, Baba. I kind of go too far, but I'm just saying.
I concur.
What you say?
I concur.
Ashe. Okay, I'm getting it. So, because I be way out there, so you have to reel me back in. I'll be over day. You pump your brakes, ear. What'd you say?
I said I need a little leverage sometimes when I have to brace myself and I have to pull you back in.
I be bucking. So, but I mean, even but what you're saying, I get it. I get the teachings. I understand what you were saying about the spider. It makes sense to me. It makes sense. It can I add this about a little bit of hoodoo? I know we talking about E5, but
You,
no,
you
don't. I won't then.
play on words.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said because you keep going in and out.
Hoodoo
Yes,
with
that's
a
what I said.
W.
I, Voodoo. I don't even know what you're saying.
Who is spelled with a W.
Who is spelt with a W?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who and do with one O.
Oh, what I do. That's what who do. That's who do.
Hoodoo.
What I do. I mean, it's what we all do, actually. I mean, when you think about it, it's just not, it's not indicative, or it's not specific, excuse me, to one spiritual system or practice. It's we all, we all participate in this one way, shape, or form, and that's patience and presence. Patience and present, being present, and waiting your turn, waiting for the blessing, standing in the confidence that whatever you have created, it will manifest the thing your heart's desire, the things that you want. And so, with that being said, faith is a virtue that we all should employ. While I understand that when you know something, you don't have to stand in faith about it, but still, the knowing that the works that you have created, or the seeds that you have planted, the labor that you have put forward, it will manifest the thing that you want. And so much of your duty is to be strong and to create within yourself a strong foundation so that you'll have the ability to withstand and to wait. Because not everything, you can have right now. Some things are for the future.
Yeah, we pray today for tomorrow.
Absolutely. Amen. Because they say you eat today for tomorrow, too.
I need to be careful what I eat today.
Yummy crab.
So that was hoodoo?
Well, I mean, that's why I said, well, not hoodoo. It's just it's life. It's just life. Yeah. That's all.
I agree. You know. So it is Shango that's associated with the spider, right? That's one of the avatars of Shango. The cockroach is too.
Cockroach.
So, not the normal one. I mean, I guess the normal regular household cockroach would be, but the ones that are really associated with Shango are the ones that fly.
Oh my God. I learned about flying cockroaches when I was in Louisiana in school. I had no idea. I was not ready.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody ever is.
They were flying through the sixth. I was on the sixth floor. They flew right in the window.
Got a bad rap.
Huh?
Cockroaches got a bad rap.
I don't know if it's bad.
Um, yeah, they got a, I guess they got a bad rap, but that's their destiny, right? Everybody has respect for the cockroach as well, like the spider. So, you know, the I guess ultimately, right, with the spider especially, it will be like the fruits of your labor. We will receive the fruits of our labor if it's constructive,
Okay.
and balanced and strong, and you know, you know, IJ and Ifa, even though it's kind of a Shango message, right? Because it helps us to be lofty, elevated, right? So in the construction of the web, the spider has to walk on the ground at some point, or walk on something at some point. But it goes from there to an elevated position. And so for us to be lofty, to keep our uh, uh, head in the clouds, so to speak, in Olum while constructing things on Earth, we should do things with a elevated mindset, high vibrational energy, and things like that. Even though the spider brings death, it's the natural cycle of things. There has to be ending for beginning. And so, whether it's hoodoo, whether it's Ifa, right, that wisdom can be applied to everything. Sometimes we need to hear it in a certain way at a certain time. So, Otura G'asa is our Ifa for the week, right? So, it reminds us to, in the positive, right, keep working, right?
Mhm.
Also, right, it tells us that, the things that we do, the things that we build and don't need to be discussed, you know? let them see it when they see it. Let them see it when they up close with it, right? Whether it's us walking through the web, or the fly flying through the web, or the other insect flying into the web, the mosquito, whatever. Let it then be known. And so, trying to keep those things under wraps and stuff like that, because, if we see the web, what we're going to do, we're going to destroy it. So there are predators and things like that will destroy or seek to destroy the things that we build in, especially if it's in the wrong place at the wrong time. So.
Yep, that's what grandmama say. You got to put the bit in your mouth and the bridle on your tongue or something like that. You tell everybody what you're doing. Ain't none of their business.
Let them see the outcome of your hard work and your discipline. What does it say? Let the what is it? Something. Let the proof
Proof
speak.
is in the pudding.
Huh?
You gonna say proof is in the pudding?
Yeah, or let the product speak for itself, or let the outcome speak for itself, something like that, right?
Okay.
So,
Well, I'll show you. I guess kind of in. So can I go back to hoodoo and give you a different another perspective? Like for us, like you've seen my apothecary. And I got all kinds of things, and I have curios, and I don't know if you've seen the different jars of bugs. I don't know if you've seen that.
I probably didn't see it on purpose.
Okay. But I got jars of different types of insects and things. What you say?
I said, "Oh boy, I told to Stephen 22."
Oh, yeah, Agbo. But in in hoodoo, the spider, can be symbolic of many things, and we use curios, things that we animals or bones or even jars, candles, various things are considered to be curios, and you use curios that have zoological connections, animals or insects, and we use the character or the embodiment of the character and nature of the insect is how it's used spiritually or magically. And so for many root workers, or for root workers in general, hoodoo practitioners, the spider is the spider is the perfect image of a root worker, of a conjurer or a spell maker or whatever you want to call it, because it requires the same thing that I was saying: precision, patience, and the wisdom and understanding of the your environment and the things around you. And so whether you are laying down herbs or tricks of some sort, or you're doing some sort of medicine or prayers or petitions, any of those things, I'm just using this example, any of those things, it's that web work of things that you do in order to bring about a desired outcome or an expected end, or to manifest your heart's desire, any of those things. And so that the characteristics and nature of a spider is in hoodoo is used similarly, in that nature, especially if you want to use it for protection or to trap or entrap something. And it doesn't have to be negative. It's just
yourself from a trap.
Absolutely being able to position yourself out of harm's way, but to live, keep yourself out of trappings. Absolutely. I know that oftentimes we take the spider web. The old folks used to say when you had a pain, or when you were sick, or you had a headache or something, you take the spider web and you put it on the person, and it does all these things. But in essence, I got a jar of spider webs. And in essence, the whole reason why these things are used is because of how they inherently come about.
Yeah, they're Ashe, Benny.
Yeah, they're ashe. That's what. Yeah, from the ashe. That's all I want to share. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
No,
I'm gonna leave it alone.
I want you to keep talking.
Huh?
I want you to keep talking. I want you.
Okay. Okay. So let me just say this. So your spider web is also like the universe,
Okay.
and we are in intricately connected to all various pathways and things, or connected to one another. And on these pathways, or on this web, this string that is woven, there are messages and codes that run on those lines, and that even the web itself and the space outside of or in between the web is important to your oneness with the universe, the consciousness, the collective,
Okay.
because this collective, or this information, is housed within this universe, and everything that we need revolves or is encompassed by this a nest of information, if I could use that term. So for me, the web spider web symbolizes the universe. That's how I use it as well. That's what the internet is, the World Wide Web.
It connects.
It connects.
Right. Those. And it's true, right? It is true.
It's true.
Those
Yes,
vibrations,
Anansi.
Benny, those vibrations in one part it can be felt in another part. So,
Yep.
what was it? It was a couple weeks ago. It was about the tsunami
Mm-hmm.
quake that happened in Russia, but they were able to feel it, in Hawaii and these different places because it reverberated. So energetically, right, it's like that. This is why we're able to do the readings. We're able to connect with people. We're able to connect with spirit, right? The Orisha, the Arumale, right? We're able to do this through this connectedness, right? Through these intersections and um, these avenues of communication and transference of energy and stuff like that. Like I said, the spider web, and you said it too, Ian, for the spider web can go both ways, right? It can be used to, in a sense, set traps, right? In this verse, it shows us that it's used to set traps to receive our blessing, or to receive the blessing, a blessing. But on the opposite of that, the spider web can be used to, in a sense, to extricate one from maybe a sticky situation, and things like that. So depending on what the intention is, what the specifics of the ritual, the specifics of the energy that's going, that's present, will help us to utilize that, the ashe of the spider and the spider web, in those different situations. So it's pretty dope.
Ashe. I know for me, one of the things that I think is freaking awesome, I guess, um, is when the connection between various systems, the similarities in things. Um, and I don't know the word to use, but just how across different traditions you see the same symbology, or they have meaning. So when I think of also the web, Baba, a lot of time it does remind me of two things. We haven't talked about it, but it reminds me of two things. One, it reminds me of the crossroads, because there has to be a cross section, when you look at a spider web, how it crosses. So it reminds me of the crossroads. And in that, it also, well, three things. It reminds me of the Bakongo cosmogram, the symbol that is used in hoodoo often, the equilateral cross, usually with a circle around it. It brings in direction, and it brings in the vortex and the center of the universe with that. And it also kind of embodies the life death cycle. So that is what's used in hoodoo, but it also reminds me of DNA. And I don't talk about this on live a lot. I usually talk about it in class, in my classes. But when you think of DNA and looking at DNA as a double helix, kind of looking like a ladder that's twisted. But when you look at it from top to bottom, as opposed to looking straight at it, but looking at it downwardly, you can see that there is this twist, this turn, and this vortex that is symbolic of the life and death process. And it also looks like the Bakongo cosmogram and the equilateral cross. So when we see how things spin, and how a spider spins its web, it brings in that life and death combination, that cycle. And this is how you bring into fruition, into being, your heart's desire, because out of obscurity, out of the unseen, as you said earlier, Baba, things that you don't see in the ancestral realm, and in the spirit realm, things you don't see, out of the belly comes the evidence of the thing that was within it, and it is how the spider web is created. And so that is the evidence of the life. It's life for the spider and death for the insect.
So what's interesting, right? In the Odu Ifa, it says she was advised to offer a bow, the spider. Right?
Spider.
So the spider, so she, right? So again, right, back to the out of the belly, right? Giving life, bringing into existence the web, if you will, right? This thing that is produced from the belly, right? Um, um, Being able to, if you will, trap the blessing. So it's giving birth to, in essence, birth to a trap, but it's the feminine energy being able to create and bring this thing into existence. So it's telling, right, with Shango, right, because he had, 3 wives, but it was the support of the feminine energy, right, that helped him to have this certain type of elevation. And so being able to create that, in an essence, out of the womb of the spider, out of the belly of the spider, is it the microcosm, right? The way, the spinning, if you will, or the
Yeah, the
weave.
microcosm.
Yeah. That helps it to capture blessing. And so, it's that whole life and death, right, or death and life. It shows us, sometimes it is the death that gives way to the rebirth, and then or that the cycle starts there, right, with an ending. A particular cycle starts with the ending.
Mm-hmm.
Which came first, the spider or the web, right? Which came
Chicken or the egg.
yeah, chicken or the egg, which came first. And so if the spider that came first, then what gave birth to the spider?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever gave birth to the spider was the thing that, in essence, gave birth to the web as well.
Mm-hmm.
Who created it in the belly of the spider? So and along with the ability, for the spider to lay eggs. But it's the Odu Ifa says it's feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Feminine. And so,
Well, that makes sense, because that's where, like you said, it's the womb, or out of the belly, right? Yeah. Okay, I got it.
like, you never. So remember, there was the movie Black Widow, or there's a saying even about women, right?
Oh, here we go.
Listen, don't say here we go, but I'm just saying that it's the term. There is no black widow that's referred to men.
Right. Absolutely, sir.
I'm just saying, I'm not the one who made the expression. I,
I'm in agreement with you.
listen, I'm only saying, right, that it has to be feminine in nature because of its creative ability. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's not masculine. The
Do you
only,
hear that feedback?
huh?
Do you hear that feedback? It sounds like somebody in the shower. It's shh. So I put mine on mute. That's why I keep going on mute because I think everybody can hear it. I don't think it's you. I was thinking that it was me.
I can't hear it.
Oh, so I don't know if anybody else can hear it because when I start talking more, it goes away. But if I'm sitting here and not and listening with the mic on, it sounds like it's going shh. So that's why I keep turning it off.
I don't hear any of that.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool beans.
Everybody else does. Ifarike is here. Ifafumi K is here. So you talking about, oh, here we go again. I'm saying it's not this verse. So we talking about the creative ability, right? The ability to call things in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but is all I'm saying is that typically when we discuss the spider, it's talking about women.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
how is it related to Shango then? Tell me again.
So the spider is the avatar of Shango. It tells us in Obara Meji.
Oh, okay.
The cockroach and the spider, who were they both exist on the ground, but they exist in the air as well. So it talks about Shango being a king on the ground and an Orisha in heaven. So,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish. I interrupted.
What'd you say?
Oh yeah. You said something in class about oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oba.
Oh Oba.
Yep, Oba, Oya, Oba, Oya, and Oshun.
Monique is asking a question, Baba.
Um, you can message me, right? But just getting basic knowledge about the Orisha, right? We have class 3 days a week. It's better to get a reading, right, so that you learn about your energies that are prevalent, right? So we all have all the Orisha, right? When you were born, you had water, you enjoyed a bath, you probably went swimming, right? You know, you had different forms of water, right? So you've had these energies, or you've had keys, or you've had a job, or you've had all these different experiences with Orisha. Orisha are in the physical world. So anything that you experience in the physical world is Orisha, right? Those things that are tangible. So learning about Orisha and those and how they are aspects of your Ori, of your destiny. That's one. Understanding about Irumale, right? Those forces that we cannot necessarily see or touch, but we can feel them, right? Ancestors, right? They're in your body, in your DNA, you know, but they give you support. So starting there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but what I advise everyone is that, you know, you can learn some general things about Orisha. You can do that anywhere. But what Orisha apply to you? What Orisha apply to your family or to your group, right? What energy are you in? And so Ifa helps us to kind of like see that, you know, and how can we best use them? How can we recognize them? You know, what blessings do they have to bring? What lessons do they help us to learn? What challenges do they help us to overcome? You know, so that, you know, it gets a little more personalized, right? Because each one of us have our own separate energy. We share energies as well. And so, this is what I wanted to tell you too, Ian. So
What,
I was
Baba?
talking to, it's off the subject, but it's
Okay.
kind of pertinent with what she asked.
Okay.
So when everybody has an energy, right? Everybody has an energy. So when you enter into a group, right? When you enter into a family, when you enter into an egg bay, right? You bring your energy to the group. And so I discuss it a lot, and I say that my Odu is not for me, it's for you. Just like your Odu is not for you, it's for me, right? It lets me know what things you bring into existence. All of us have those. So when we have those other systems and things like that, um, that take us away from understanding who we are on an energetic level, I have to kind of like, side eye. But it's important for us to know, right, who we are and what benefit we are to other people, right? Your life mission. So I was talking to Awi Fatayo yesterday, and I was explaining to him about certain Odus and certain energies and how we can see them, how even with like your Odu, what energy you brought, what energy you brought to us, what things do just your presence bring into reality. So when we get those energies and we understand about these energies, right? How can we see it? So for you, Ian, you bring a resilient type of energy, right, to anybody that you affect. So
I say.
I'm just saying. So, but since we've seen that Odu file, right, we've seen it over and over and over again. Why? Because someone introduced that energy into our collective. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Into the universe. Yes. Into
Well,
that.
no, it already
Into that.
exists in the universe. But what happens is you brought it to us in a way that we can see it and experience it and recognize it. Do that make sense?
Yeah.
So the energy could have been present already, but we weren't able to recognize it because we had to see how it was embodied.
Okay. I got it.
You understand? The same with Ian if I told me why. Right? The same with Ifa Fumike, the same with any other the Onwawo, right? It's really about being recognized and your energy being recognized, right? So once it's recognized, we can then use the energy to our benefit. If we don't recognize the energy, we can't manipulate it. We can't project it. We can't hold on to it until we recognize the energy. So, there's a lot of discussion about people being connected with certain people and things like that, right? And who's giving what teachings or who's doing whatever the right way. The core of it is that we need to understand, right? It's important for us to have an Odu. It's very important because it lets us recognize one who we are, and two how we can be useful to others.
Mm-hmm.
We received it. You received the blessing from your E5, just like we received the blessing from your E5. Received the blessing from E and E5. E5 told me was E5, right? She received it, and we received it as well. So this is the benefit. Oh boy, I told Divine Sage 2020. So understanding that, right? And so we can get caught up on certain aspects of the energy and miss the most valuable ones, right? This comes from education. And so making sure that we have the right education, right? And I'm not saying there's any wrong education, but there's certain people that I want. Where you go? We want their perspective. If I would rather have the perspective of the optimist than the pessimist. It doesn't make it any less valid, right? But I need to, yeah, I know. I want to have the perspective of the optimist, right? The Babalawo, whoever's doing the reading, has the ability to speak things into existence more so than others. Everybody has that ability. But the Babalawo, the Ianifa, are seasoned, if you will, trained, for lack of a better phrase, right, to speak certain things into existence, being aware of what they say and how they say it. Are they saying that this thing, right, that is finite? If the Odu comes and there's Iku, there's death. Is the person giving the interpretation going to focus only on the death or overcoming it? Right? What's the outcome of the sacrifice? It can't be death, so we shouldn't harp on that. We shouldn't stay aligned with that ideal or that thing, right? We should the focus should be on overcoming it and what blessings will be received by overcoming that challenge or obstacle. So it matters who you get to read. It matters their understanding of your circumstance, right? It matters, about a lot, and so we have to take those things into consideration. Are they going to adequately convey the message? Am I going to understand what the challenges are? What things do I need to stay away from? Right? Those things are very important when we select a priest or a priestess. What kind of things will they impart on our life? Right? What will they help us to develop about ourselves and see what about ourselves? So understanding that, we are Odu Ifa. We're in Ifa because one, we want to do what, like the spider, we want to construct and build. Right? Then we understand about the cycle of life. And that we are only trying to harness the power, right? The ashe, the blessing, the benefit, overcome the obstacles that's associated with that. So, utilizing that feminine energy like Shango, that, from Oya, Oba, and Oshun, and being able to create something, right, that's durable, that's long lasting, that will help us, right, jump those cycles. Even if I told me Lola.
Yes, sir.
I was dancing to your jingle.
You what? The jingle on my bells.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I keep them. I always got some noise going on. Well, Baba, I have a client coming over in about 10 minutes. I'm gonna have to jump off live.
Well, I'm gonna go to. Thank you, everyone. Ire Pupo to you and your families. If y'all have any questions or concerns, please follow me. Latona Ifabilekes. Feel free to message me if you have any questions about Ifa, how you get started. I don't really like to talk about other people's Odus per se or the interpretation, other than some kind of like general stuff, because that Odu came for that reader. And so I don't want anything that I may say to be taken out of context. So just keep that in mind if you ask me about an Odu that you received from someone else. It's not to take away, but only to add to your knowledge of the Odu Ifa. So, Ire Pupo, Ire Aiku, Ire Aje, Ire Owo, Ire Oma, Ire Aya Oko, Ire Ishegun, Ire Alapia, Ire Pupo. Follow us on Patreon at Iadudu World Academy. On YouTube at EY at Ilya Dingbe. Facebook at Latona Ifabileke. Shop with us on Iadudu Botanica on Etsy.
On Etsy.
Etsy.
Mm-hmm. I wish we could just put it in there
Put it in where?
in the chat, but I don't know how to do that. Oh, what I do, but I don't know it.
Is the chat available after the live?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I might upload it to YouTube.
Oh, I think you should. You should do that. And yep, I think you should. Did you say what the YouTube page is? The YouTube channel?
Gbogbo is my personal YouTube, and then I have one for the temple as well. Iyududu Temple or Iwa at Ilia Dingbe. IYA.
Yeah. Ashe, oh.
Join us Monday at 4 p.m. right here on TikTok for Mean Mama Mondays with Ianifa Ifa, Tomi Lola, and Baba Ifa Bileke, the Prince of Ashokbo.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Dabo.
Oh, Dabo Baba.